When I found out I was pregnant with Mattie on Christmas Eve of 1989, I was not planning on having a fourth child because my first three children had come into the world quite unwell. Two of them had already died, and nobody knew what was wrong with my children. We could catalog symptoms. We could say this helps, but we don't know why. This hurts, and we don't know why. But it was really a mystery what was happening to my children. So I had decided no more children. Mattie was not an accident. He was not a mistake. He was a spirit meant to be. And yet I cried when I found out I was pregnant, because I knew that for whatever reason I was pregnant again. The odds were stacked against this little baby being any different than his siblings, because you don't have, I'm an Irish Catholic. I had 4 kids in 4.5 years. And the first 3 coming so quickly, even not knowing what was wrong, we had figured out by that point, this is not a fluke, which is what they thought with my first child. This is not some bizarre, random, recessive, genetic, not going to ever happen again, which is what happened with the second one. I was told the third child would be healthy when the third child was also unwell. It's like, whatever this is, it's going to happen to the fourth child. And that's why I cried, is for what this child would live with and die from. Not that I didn't want the child. When I began sharing with others that I was pregnant, and that was one of the loneliest times of my life, because I told very few people because I was so judged. My feeling was the first 3 did suffer, but 2 out of those 3 also celebrated. One lived so short of a time period, and it was filled with mostly suffering, and that's very difficult for me to reflect on, but it's the reality. But the other 2 laughed more than they cried. So I thought, God has given me this child. And it was Monsignor John Ensler who I spoke with, and he said, we don't know the meaning behind this child's life, but there is some purpose in this child's existence, because you were trying not to have another child. And he said, this child is a gift. This is God's gift to you. It's only time will tell what that gift is, and that's why he's named Matthew and called Mattie, God's gift. When I began telling a handful of family and friends, I was highly criticized for letting myself get pregnant again. And that's not how it happened. And for keeping the child. And when I told my son Jamie's medical team that I was pregnant again, most of them, I mean, the first words out of almost everybody's mouths were, I'm sorry, and, what are you going to do about it? I mean, when are you going to terminate? And when I said I'm not terminating, many doctors from that point forward worked with me differently than they had prior. I was seen as a less wise woman, less respected by the team. Not everybody, all right? There were still people that agree or disagree, respected the decision. But in general, I was told, you're bringing a child into the world to suffer. And I said, we don't know that for sure. We will not know that till this baby's born. And if that's the case, then I will do whatever I can to let this child know you matter. You have purpose. I will create the celebration of your life. I will make sure that any moment you can be happy, you are happy. And whatever purpose you're here for, I will help amplify that purpose. And that was my prayer the whole time.